Welcome to TheoTrade. Don Kaufman here, August 19th, 2026. 15 minutes to go. It's the cash close here on this Wednesday afternoon. Got to tell you right off the top, let's talk a little bit about the bond market. The bonds, they are a rocking back to the upside. Take a look at this move. So the bonds are effectively at multiple year lows. The Treasury comes out today about an hour before the cash open and is doing a version of quantitative easing. Yeah, that's a question, not necessarily a comment in there. Could be quantitative easing, could be the twist program. I call it yield curve control by any other name. They'll never call it yield curve control, but that's exactly what I am calling it. In effect, what we may actually have here in the very near future is the Treasury trying to lower interest rates in the long end of the curve. Now, the long end of the curve, I don't want to speak geek to anybody. What we're looking at right now is the ZB. The ZB is representative of the 30-year U.S. Treasury bond futures. Most of us are a little bit more familiar with what we term the 10-year. And what has occurred today, okay, was specifically a mention, okay, of this 30-year. And this is Scotty B at the Treasury that's going to be providing ample liquidity, if you will, to the ZB. Effectively, what that means, okay, if you got them, they'll buy them. And they'll pretty much buy them at any price. And when the bonds go up, that actually causes interest rates to do what? To go down. And again, this is, maybe you're going to lower your mortgages a little bit. Do you really believe that? Probably not. And I'm going to tell you exactly why you probably should not believe that, because your mortgages are actually based on the 10-year. And yes, now we're looking at the actual interest rates associated. This is the TNX colon CGI. Yeah, that's the symbol. Look, when you start to dig into this, where are we in terms of interest rates? Well, the other day we got clear up here to about 4.75. And it's a little weird to read because it says like 47.5. It's about 4.75. That's on the 10-year. Right now, what are we trading? Okay. All right. 4.65. So we came down mildly. The question is, though, what if? Just bear with me on this thought for a second. What if the Treasury comes out and, cause this marketplace to lift a little bit, and then it sells back off in the days to come? You got problems, interesting problems as well. Again, so what has occurred here has been a huge departure from a little bit of the norm. Normally, when you guys think of interest rates, you would probably think of the Fed, of course. Right now, this is actually coming directly from the Treasury, providing liquidity to the 30-year, and it did pop. And it's just on huge volume. But again, I got more questions than this one that I've got answers. It's a version of yield curve control, which is something that's been done in Japan and so forth. It absolutely hammered, though, the US dollar. Gold explodes to the upside. Look, it's talk is cheap. Let's see what it looks like in a couple of days. Just bottom line. Let's see what the interest rates look like in a couple of days, because I definitely have my reservations and personally believe that this may actually start to sell back off, in which case they just fired an absolute bazooka at the marketplace, and it could very well turn out to be a dud. Speaking of a dud, it definitely didn't help the equity markets. It's kind of weird to start talking about bonds, right? But look, a bazooka went off in the bonds, and the bonds moved. I just didn't think that they moved enough, and that's why I have reservations. But the bond market and easing off inside of that bond market with a rally in the bonds, it did not sustain a rally inside of the S&Ps. The initial announcement on the bond market, that was really the news of the day, came right here. And yes, the S&P has moved back up, but look at this. We're slipping lower into the close. And I'm going to tell you exactly where we are going right now. Okay, it's not often you go, oh, where are we? He doesn't know where we're going. Yeah, I do. We're going to the lower edge of the expected move because we're trapped on it. That's the first thing you're going to tell you about the equity marketplace, the index, marketplace. It doesn't matter what you think. There's a lower edge of an expected move, and we are trapped on it. This is exactly where we traded all day yesterday. Take a look at this. Okay, the entire trading day yesterday was lower edge of an expected move. The entire trading day today, we flirted with breaking off and then ended up on the lower edge of the expected move. For those of you that do not speak lower edge of the expected move geek-isms, okay, each and every week we establish an expected move. The expected move this week is pretty wildly low. Okay, you're in the 80s this week, so it was like an $80+ move higher, $80 move lower. You got the $80 move lower between literally Monday and Tuesday. Here we are on a Wednesday, just kind of reverberating on that lower edge of the expected move. But again, at this point, the whole question for the remainder of the week, if you're into the equity markets, if you're into, the index products, the whole question is, do we actually go for it and break off the lower edge? And if we do, look where we're trading right now inside of the S&Ps. And again, I just want to give you a good feel for this. Okay, I'm going to go to a 180-day 4-hour chart. I'm going to kind of zoom in here for a second and allow me to box this in for you right here, right in and around this 3,500 level, all the way up to about 7,700. Again, I want to be very specific. 7,700 to the upside, approximately 7,350 to the downside is what? It's our volatility box. Why bring it up right now? Because we're hanging out literally, okay, right on the upper edge of it. Any further sell side activity, if we actually break just a little bit lower, you're going to get sucked right back down to 75.11. You're literally going to cycle right back down to 75.11, maybe even see, okay, a 73.50 print literally in the next, probably early next week. It's wild though when you start looking at this because we're starting to pierce right back where we came from. That would be a really critical change. This all comes down to this SPX. And again, I want to reiterate, in the SPX, you are trading right on the lower edge of that expected move. That lower edge of the expected move in there is approximately 77.03. It's not a simple break over here. You really got to break off. We kind of got to go for it to the downside. So you'll know that we've broken off the lower edge of expected move when you're anywhere from 15 to 20 points off of it. So you start to actually break down to this number here of like 76.90. Okay, it's kind of where we were yesterday. You get down to like 76.90, things are going to get a hell of a lot more interesting in this marketplace as the market actually kind of goes for it to the downside. Now, some really strange occurrence in this marketplace as well. One other aspect I wanted to cover, market breadth. Okay, everything from like advanced decline line to ticks has actually been spectacular the last 2 trading sessions. And yet, look where we are. The NASDAQ is effectively lower. Okay, the S&Ps, well, I just showed you, the S&Ps are actually sitting at the lower edge of their expected move. This has a lot to do with semiconductors. They're getting smoked. We're getting smoked. And as we're actually hitting the semiconductors, and I'll just show you SMH for a second, we're rotating into stuff like XLV. Now, don't get me wrong, there's news inside of healthcare. I know there's news on Moderna, and I know there's news in Merck, okay? But we're rotating right now. And it is a vicious, vicious rotation. But as long as the semiconductors are under pressure, I think you're still going to see, the NASDAQ obviously going to be dragged down, but possibly even the S&Ps getting dragged into it. And that's one of the most critically important things. We are still rotate, okay? And along with those rotations, you will not see volatility make much of a move, right? If you're looking at volatility like, well, the market's selling off, and it is, but volatility isn't doing anything. And if you can look at the VIX is, it's back down to the 15 handle. Let's get crazy. Okay. You will not see volatility go up until we get out of this craptastic advanced decline line. Remember, the market breadth is fairly good. We've seen 50-50 advanced decline lines. The rotations have to end before you see volatility start to really feel any fear. There's no fear whatsoever right now. Why? Because no matter how much you sell the semiconductors, yes, it can pull the markets down, but it's a very slow move to the downside because we're not just selling semiconductors. We're selling semiconductors and buying everything else on the screen. Hence, okay, a fairly good advanced decline line. I mean, earlier today, the advanced decline line was like 80-20 in the S&P 100. That's wild, and it was the exact same thing the prior day. All right, last but definitely not least, we go to the SPX. As I was saying moments ago, we're sitting on the lower edge of the expected move. And for Thursday and Friday, this is really make or break. Again, it's going to make or break the entire indices and equity marketplace. If you break lower, boom, we're going right back to 75.11. That's 75.11 inside of the S&Ps. Doesn't mean we're necessarily going to get there this week, okay? But you can rest assured, you start to break in those S&Ps, you start to break under that 7,700 again, we're going to be off to the races, back to the downside, inside of that volatility pocket, the marketplace. So keep in mind, again, a break lower off this lower edge of expected move is critically important. The other aspect worth looking at, take a look at the SPX. What do we got to the remainder of the week? Between now and Friday, still approximately a $55 move being anticipated. So strap in. It's funny because there's like rumblings of some volatility in the short duration. Okay. But if you look at the VIX, you think that the marketplace is dead. Anything but dead. It feels like it's stuck in the middle with you. But equities, they're still moving over here. It's just we have got to get this advanced decline line off this 50-50 garbage. Thanks everybody for joining us here at TheoTrade. Have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.